Let's start. The project name is Fingerprint Authentication. Let's see the project structure. In the build.gradle file, we have integrated the biometric library. Then set up the view binding like this. Here we have the main activity and my biometric manager class. And in the UI, we have an activity_main.xml file, which is the layout of the main activity. Let's see the UI. In the activity_main.xml file, we have a button, Fingerprint Auth. Let's see the Kotlin code now. These are the imports. This is my biometric manager class. These are the data members. First, we implement the singleton object creation pattern, so that only a single object of this class would be created throughout the app lifecycle. Meanwhile, we call the init function to instantiate the required objects. This is the init function, where we instantiate the required things. This function checks if biometric features are available on the Android device or not and if they are currently active or not. This part checks if the biometrics is available on the Android device, but the user has not configured it yet, so this code setups the biometric registration. This function is called from the main activity, and it setups the biometric and does the authentication. In this function, we create an object of the biometric prompt that collects the result of the authentication in various callback functions like, on authentication error, on authentication succeeded, on authentication failed. After the result is fetched, we call the callback functions that take the result from this manager class to the main activity. In the end, we call the show biometric prompt function. This function shows a dialog prompt to the user that asks the user to put his finger on the fingerprint sensor of the Android device. This is the callback interface that has a callback function called on biometric authentication result that takes the biometric authentication results from this manager class to the main activity. These are the imports. This is the main activity. The activity implements my biometric manager.callback interface. This interface has an overridden function called on biometric authentication result. This function receives the authentication result from the manager class and shows it in a toast. These are the data members. This is how we set up the view binding. In the onCreate function, first, we get the instance of the myBiometricManager class. When the button is clicked, first we check if the Android device has any biometric features available or not. Then we call the authenticate function. If the biometric authentication was not enrolled on the Android device, the manager class asks the user to do that, and then we can get its result in this onActivityResult function. Let's run the app. So that's it. That's how you can implement biometric fingerprint authentication in Kotlin Android. Thanks for watching.